Hey guys, I wanted to show you my next hit it or quit it thoughts on hauls. If you've never seen one of these videos from me before, I'll have my playlist linked down below. And basically I'll be reviewing all the products I featured in a haul video a year ago to let you know my current thoughts on these products. And I will have my original video down below and I will list all the items that I'm mentioning. And this was a huge haul. This was a lot of things I purchased in September, but also a lot of the things that I had gotten with my birthday money. I have a birthday in August and I chose to get a bunch of indie palettes. My friend KARENHARRIS has codes for all of these brands. I will have them down below. Please use Karen's code and support her. I believe for all of them, it's KHMAKEUP, except for ItsBel Cosmetics, it is KARENHARRIS. And I believe for all the websites it's 10% off, but again, I will have the information down below. Please use Karen's code. The first purchase was from Cosmetics. You earn points through purchasing and you can redeem them for money off, but you can't do it at the same time that you're getting some other deal. So I was able to get these for super cheap after my points, and then I just used birthday money on them. So this is the Corselette Sculpting Powder Bronzer in Slip. There are 4 different shades. I really love this. This is a nice pigmented matte bronzer, blends very nicely, and this is a great neutral leaning cool tone for me, but it's not too cool. It's not gray. So I think that this works really well for my skin tone. Because I'm fair, cool things should work for me. But I do have a warm undertone and things can look a little gray and scary, but not this one. This is a fantastic product. This is a go-to bronzer for me in the winter time, but it could be good for spring for me as well. Definitely recommend this formula, and this is a really pretty shade. I also appreciate that there's slim packaging, because for the powder, highlight, and blushes from Cosmetics, they're chunky, but they're baked formulas. And then I had gotten the Cosmetics Everglass Lip Dew in the shade Enchant. I believe I picked this color from a State of Kate post. She's amazing. You guys have to subscribe to her if you haven't already. The packaging of this is super cute. It is too chunky to fit in my gloss organizer, which is a little annoying. And I think because of that, it's in the back of my drawer and I don't use it as much. But this is something I can definitely see myself wanting to throw in a project pan. I am not sure how much product comes in here. 4.5 mils or 0.15 fluid ounces. I'll have to compare that to something else. I can't compare it off the top of my head, but I do like this color. It's a really pretty, like, warm nude, and this is a great formula. It has more of a light medium opacity and it is nice and smooth. There's a little thickness, a little stickiness to help it stay on the lips, but it is not too bad and it's not super thick. It doesn't feel as thin as Tower 28 glosses, but also not as thick as the Lawless. So definitely something that I'm happy to have, but I don't see myself buying more colors. And again, I would love to pan this, but probably wouldn't repurchase after that just because I have so many glosses. But if you are interested in these formulas, I would recommend them. And then we have my first purchase that I regret. That would be from Unearthly Cosmetics. So this is the leather and lace palette. Since I purchased this, I believe that for this palette and some others, Unearthly has made them a little bit smaller, which I love. I mean, I know that this was like good for the money, but so many of us have so many palettes that we don't need this big of shadow pans. We would rather it just be smaller and cheaper. So in this palette, you have 12 shades, 3 shimmers, 9 mattes, and I am a shimmer girl. I don't use blacks. I definitely already have shades like these and like these and like these. Now they're beautiful, they perform really well, and I think I was drawn to this palette because it is one of the more neutral options from Unearthly. And again, you see I have a lot of indie things here. I was so excited to try more brands. I have barely used this since I initially bought this. I will go through my Instagram and put some makeup of the days with these palettes so you can see some different looks for inspiration, but I wish I didn't buy this one just because it is not unique to my collection. And the other thing I got from Unearthly would be 4 of their single shadows. You can see these are just as large as the shades in the palette. Such gorgeous duochrome shifty shades, except this one is just a regular foiled, which is why this one's a little bit cheaper. These are amazing. The quality is fantastic. The shades are beautiful, right up my alley, and I wore them with the leather and lace palette, went well together. The issue is I don't use my single shadows enough because my collection is just so gigantic and I prioritize palettes, which is why, even though right now Give Me Glow Cosmetics their freaking single shadow pants are 40% off because they're going to be minimizing their pan size as well, which is such a good idea. I want them so bad because Give Me Glow has amazing shimmers. And the mattes are great too. I only have one palette from them, but like I'm absolutely obsessed. So it's gonna be hard to resist that, but I've been trying to be strict with myself, not allowing myself to buy any more singles because I'm not using them. And yet there are 2 other singles from Unearthly that I want, and I've barely used these. So the quality of these are all great. If you think you'll use single shadows, if you feel like this is either unique to your collection or you like this formula and you feel like it could be a staple palette for you, I just feel like for me, my collection, my preferences, shouldn't have gotten these. Next, I have an order from Oden's Eye. My friend Amanda and I placed an order together. We used Karen's code, and then that put us below the free shipping threshold. So we each added an eyeliner, and I knew going into this that this one did not have good reviews, but out of all the shades, this is the one I didn't have something like and thought I would use. So this is 008. It is a pastel lilac-y shade, and I actually got a lot of use out of this in the spring. I thought about decluttering it, but I didn't. You do really need to go back and forth and build this up, which is quite annoying. It does not stick very well in the waterline, but on the lower lash line it's great. So I will keep it for now, but I really feel like you can pass on these liners and go with the ColourPop ones instead. I do know that people had better experiences with other shades, but I think like people are not talking about them anymore. But then we have the Solmane 2 eyeshadow palette. I just used this one recently. So good. I love the Oden's Eye eyeshadow formula. You have a beautiful blue, purple, and more warm tone row here. I'm really happy to have this to my collection. I do think it adds some variety, but they are shades that I would get some use out of. I'm not a super blue gal, but I really loved the looks that I created. Definitely would recommend this palette. Next, from Adept Cosmetics, I had this House of L palette. This was super expensive and it was a limited edition. You got 6 shimmers, 3 mattes, and I was like, Heather, why did you buy this? Because it's very colorful. But I did use this over the summer. I love the looks that I created. I will have it linked. I think that Adept Cosmetics has some of the most unique shimmers. I would say, at least what worked for me, is that I felt like I needed to swatch these on my hand next to the matte shadows I planned on using, because the way they look in the palette and the way they look on your eye, because they're so shifty, can look totally different. So I did have some like funny looking looks a couple of times, but then I learned what to do. But this is fantastic. If I could only have 10 palettes in my collection, this would not make the cut, but I do love the variety that it adds and the formula is great. And then my friend Jean and I placed an order together with Fantasy Cosmetica. We got the Druid palette, which recently got a packaging upgrade, and now all of her palettes do have magnetic pans. And then we have this super bright Sorcerer palette. I have not used this one yet because I'm scared of it. I need to look up some videos with it, and I should have used it over the summer. Not like I can't use it now, like I can. But yeah, I'm a little scared. This was a bundle deal, so it was a little bit cheaper, and we did use Karen's code. So I am happy that I have it for like completion's sake, because I do have them all except for the newest one. Their formula is really good. I do recommend checking them out if you like any of these color stories. Right now they have just 9pan palettes, which I absolutely love, and I will be getting some more use out of the Druid one this fall. I especially love their shimmer formula. The shades in here are just so stunning. So these are good palettes. And my last indie product would be this palette from ItsBel Cosmetics. This is Cool Summer. I did use this one this summer as well. Such a phenomenal formula. I love the mattes and the shimmers in here. This is a really nice bright color story, but I'm not too scared of it. I didn't get to use all the shades, but I did get to use a good portion of them. I was very impressed. Even some of these lighter, more pastel-y shades, I was able to get them to build and blend nicely, where with other brands, they have been a little bit patchy. So definitely recommend this palette, and I'm excited to see more from them in the future. Next, I purchased some things from Sephora. First was a Kaja Gloss Shot Duo. You had a mini of their permanent shade Pink Drink, and then a mini of this limited edition shade Berry Slushy. And I do have the limited shade from the year before this one. It's a beautiful color, and it never became permanent, which is why I wanted to snag this. I did pass on the mini in Pink Drink, because here's the crazy thing. I like having the minis as the limited edition shades. And the permanent colors, I want full size because I do already have Honey Drizzle in a full size, and you guys know I'm lucky enough to get PR from Kaja, so I'm hoping that in the future I can pick a gloss shade and then I'll get a full size of Pink Drink. That is like so moronic, I know, but like it's just what's going on up here. But these glosses are pretty interesting. So this is what the applicator looks like. Very different from any other applicator, but I do find that it's very easy to use. The shape of this does hold extra product. And these glosses have more of a light medium to medium opacity. They are, again, somewhere in between the thickness of a Tower 28 and a Lawless, but they are a little bit sticky, which I don't love. So I have other formulas that I like better than these, but I do still enjoy these. I would hope they could come out with more shades in the future. We'll see if they do a holiday set this year, but definitely keep an eye on them. And this little size is so cute. And let me just right now compare this to the Cosmetics. So this has 3 mils, this has 4.5 mils. So not bad, decent amount of gloss in both of these. Then I had gotten 3 of the Too Faced Killer liners. I had gotten Killer Camo, which was like an olivey green, Killer Gingerbread, which was like a terracotta, and then I got this Killer Turquoise. I returned the other 2 shades. The Camo one, I just feel like that wasn't quite the right green for me, and the Gingerbread one, I felt it was too similar to ColourPop Red Rock, but this turquoise liner is so pretty. I don't have anything quite like this. It is so perfect for summer, and this is a matte formula. It is a little bit dry, which is nice because it stays on the waterline pretty well. So definitely do recommend these. I know people have been loving the light pink shade for a waterline brightener, which I'm thinking about. If these go on sale like 40-50% off, I'd pick it up. Otherwise, I don't need a liner like that, but really pretty shade, nice formula. Then I had gotten a 50-point perk of the Murad Acne Control Deep Relief Acne Treatment. I did really enjoy that. I do feel like it did help to reduce the size of my blemishes without super drying out my skin. I had then gotten a little deluxe sample of the Charlotte Tilbury Radiant Concealer in One Fair. No, I did not like this. It was super creasy on me. I have the foundation in that Radiant line and I really like that one, but the concealer was a no-go. Then I had gotten the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer in 1.3G Marshmallow. I did not love this. I don't feel like it gave great coverage, and it was almost like too matte. I had a hard time blending it. I just don't think it looked good, and I know people absolutely love that one, but it wasn't for me. And then I had gotten the Huda Beauty Glowish Bronzer in 01 Light. This is a very sheer product, so you do need to use more of a dense brush, but I really like the color, and this looks very pretty on the skin. But just keep in mind this is very sheer, so if you're wanting more payoff, you might want to go a shade darker than you think. Not, you know, one of my top 5 bronzers in my collection, but I do like it, and I'm excited to use this more in fall to see if I end up liking it more. But I would say that this is probably a formula that might hard pan, so don't swatch it a bunch. Then I had gotten some products from Ulta, the NYX Thick It Stick It Brow Gel in Cool Blonde. They don't have a warm blonde shade. They have a taupe, and taupe is too cool tone and too dark for me. Cool Blonde is really should be best for people that have like literally platinum hair or gray hair. So the color did not work for me, and it was very thick. And I'd also gotten the Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen in Blonde. That's something I want to try again in the future. I just feel like I'm not skilled enough to use a brow pen and really draw on hair-like strokes. Again, practice for the future, but I have enough brow products to work through. Let me swatch some of these other lip products while I'm here. This is Cosmetics Enchant, Kaja Berry Slushy, and then the next product I'm going to talk about, the Buxom Full On Plumping Lip Matte in Dolly. This is a fantastic liquid lipstick formula. I also have the shade Chill Night. This really does feel more like a moussey texture. It does dry down, but it doesn't suck the life out of your lips. And this somehow has that cooling, plumping sensation. I don't know how they did it, but I really would say check out this formula. I know that most of us are over liquid lipsticks, although it seems like they're coming back. If you're interested, definitely check these out. I would love for them to expand the shade range. I already have the only 2 colors I think that I would like, but a really nice formula, and I can't wait to wear this shade in winter. I had gotten some of the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion sponges. I'm on my last one right now. I usually will use a sponge for like 3 months. I love the shape of these. I use the more like flat angled side for foundation. The pointed side I use for concealer and my tinted eye primer. Absolutely love. I tried other sponges and I do feel like the texture of the Real Techniques has changed over the years, but it's still my favorite, and it's like a little dense when you first get it, but after you use them and wash them a little while, you break them in. I got some of the Real Techniques face and brow razors. I feel like they're pretty sharp, so I would say be careful with them. And it's something I probably would not repurchase. I would like something that's a little more gentle. Then I bought the Endless Summer Makeup and Self-Tanning Kit. Of course, I haven't used that. Of course not. I don't know what was wrong with me. Thank God I got it for a good price. I had purchased the Pacifica Vegan Collagen Complex Lip Balm in Pink Shimmer, but it had a vanilla scent. I never used it. I returned it. I didn't need lip balms. I bought it to buy it because State of Kate recommended it. And then I had gotten one of the About Face Cheek Freak Blush Balms in Quickie. Pretty corally color, but I really did not like that formula. I found it to be a little bit patchy and not very blendable. Then I had gotten a EOS Smooth Stick and Sweet Mint, my favorite lip balm, not too thin or thick. And I had gotten the Makeup Revolution Bright Light Highlighter in Divine Dark Pink. That was supposed to be similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Shimmery Blush Wand. It was like metallic. It did not look pretty on the cheeks at all. Then I had purchased the Flower Beauty Jungle Lights eyeshadow palette. This is absolutely amazing. Some of the best foiled shimmers ever. You have to have this. I use them all except the darkest purple. You guys know I don't really wear dark shades, but this is definitely a must-have in my collection. She finally launched 2 more shade variations. I'm tempted. Then I had gotten 2 shades of the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Powder Bronzers. These are very nice. They are very pigmented, smooth, blendable. I chose the shade Light and Light Medium. I believe there are 8 shades in this range, which is amazing. I didn't need 2 shades, but I bought 2 anyway. One to use more as a bronzer and one as a contour, even though I know this is not a contour shade, but you know, just a deeper color to focus here. And the cheek area, really great formula. I'm gonna be using it more this fall, but definitely a phenomenal drugstore bronzer range. And then I had gotten 2 newer brushes from Sigma. I think these came out with their bronzer, blush, and highlighters. Could be wrong. So this is the F44 Powder Sculpt. So unique, and I believe that this is the brush that I had used with the Glowish bronzer because it does have a decent amount of fluffiness and density to it. And then I also got the F76 Chiseled Cheek for more of a diffused, contoured look. Definitely recommend these brushes. Super cool. Sigma does such a great job of trying to come out with unique shapes, and the quality is phenom. But always wait for a Sigma sale. I'm able to get products 40–50% off all the time. And then at this time, there was a free gift of a mini liquid lipstick in the shade Awaken. It was a kind of like a drying liquid lipstick formula. Not terrible, but just like a standard formula. And it was like a standard pink shade, which is just not my favorite. I'm really like specific about the pinks I think look good on me. So I did pass it on. And usually when I'm doing these recaps, I don't talk about PR, but I wanted to talk about some products I've gotten from Benefit. I had been tagging them in my Makeup of the Days on Instagram, and they had messaged me, and I told them that I almost have all the blushes at this point. They asked me which ones I didn't have, and then they sent them to me. So I got Dandelion, I got Butterfly, which I've passed on, and then they also sent me Crystal, which I already have, so I passed that one on. But then these are the 2 shades that I really wanted. So the first one is Starla, which is a nude, and then we have this gorgeous deep color Moon. And I love Moon. This is in my top 3 out of the Benefit lineup. It's obviously super pigmented. I have to be careful of my skin tone, but if you have deep skin, oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing on you. And this is a matte finish. Starla, it looks like it should show up on me, right? But I've been using it this month, and maybe it's just like I'm not applying enough, or it's because of the tone of my bronzer or whatnot, but this is not showing up as much as I would like it to. So I'm gonna play with it more, but I'm on the fence about decluttering this, which makes me sad. So we'll have to see. But I love this formula. You guys know Pom Pom and Terra are like up there with my faves. So these are pretty powdery, but I don't mind. They go onto the cheeks quite nicely, and I'm so glad that Benefit redid their range. They also made the boxes skinnier because they took out the brush. So this was amazing PR to get. So guys, those are my thoughts on all the things I hauled a year ago. I would love to know your thoughts if you have tried these products out, and I would love to know some color combos if you have these palettes. And if you shop these sites, do not forget to use Karen's code. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.